All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I feel like I haven't made two videos in a good while, but I want to look at RIVN and FFIE on this one, all right? So definitely got the attention yesterday on the Discord. You can see right away we dropped the breaking news. Bunch of people were talking about it. I actually gave the same lines, and lo and behold, this aged pretty well, but if it didn't continue up, which it obviously didn't, I thought it was going to drop back down to 1525. Lo and behold, we actually do a little bit worse than that, right? So I'll tell you where I got my 1525 thoughts. I'm not going to lie. It was obviously the 200 moving average, right? I'm not here pretending I have crystal balls and stuff. I just listen to the lines and do what I'm told. You know what I mean? So RIVN, the news was cool, but hey, buy the rumor, sell the news is an important phrase for a reason, all right? The next one is FFIE. Crazy day today, right? There is nothing else I can honestly say. A big 73% day. It's funny because I thought that this was just a silly mover. You can see it, and I mean the 100 moving average actually did a really important job. So there was a bit of a technical reason for this. To me, if we can get over that little bunch, oh my. All right, so those are kind of going to be the thoughts that I'm looking at on that and this. All right, but before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are up here, there are some resistance lines that I've drawn, and I'll probably draw a couple supports down there. And then when we finish up here, we will use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh, I am so grateful for it, all right? So, the really big yesterday on RIVN, right? So this thing, and I believe when I put my screenshot, this thing was still at 17 something before. I actually think it almost got, if not, it probably even kissed my 1881 line at the peak of it. But yeah, there was some real big hype around the news. And again, what was the news? A $5 billion investment into RIVN. All right, they're going to join for future ventures. They're going to be part of the next EV. When look, I live in LA. I see a lot of Rivians driving. I actually think I see more Rivians than I see Polestars. Definitely, I don't even know if Mullen cars are out there, right? But I see a lot of Rivians, and you know, it I guess you can kind of say makes sense, but the bigger point is when an up and coming stock connects to the bigger player in the industry, oh man, big pops are like this are going to happen, all right? The problem from there becomes twofold, all right? We're very much making assumptions at this point. There's still a lot that needs to be done, and I've said it on a number of videos. The EV market's really saturated. All right. Back in the day, you can just throw a dart at EV stocks and they were all going to go up because like there weren't that many players actually in production. The market share was growing. We're at places where Tesla's made price drops. Literally every company has EVs. There are so many companies in China that literally launch an EV and then go bankrupt after. Like they just make a bunch of sales and call it a day. Owner leaves, everyone's happy. Like the EV market is crazy saturated and as huge. I'm not trying to undersell it. I don't got $5 billion, right? Like that's a ridiculous number to me. For Volkswagen, I don't actually know how big that 5 billion number is. Right? Like, is this actually just a drop in the bucket and they have bigger investments somewhere else? Is that a bit like, I don't know. Again, I'm just a regular dude who lives a regular life. $5 billion is some craziness, right? But Volkswagen probably has a lot of $5 billion chips that they can throw around at Vegas. You know what I mean? So you always got to remember to keep certain things in perspective like that, all right? So nonetheless, what ends up happening is we make a monster gap up, but are unable to close. So look, I have two different green candles, and these are not the same green candles in my eyes, all right? This guy right here on Tuesday opens at 11.12. You can see that the second line, and it goes all the way up to 11.90. Most people made some good money. Today, though everyone sees a 23% day and actually makes it seem like it's really good, that's not what I see. I see a stock that opened up here at $16 and fell all the way down to a close at that 14. In fact, it fell very, very far and actually got as low as 1417 at one point, right? So more people actually lost 20%. More people, well, let's call it 15, right? But more people lost a good $2 than you know, you can 10%, whatever you want to call it, right? But this is a losing day to me. This was not a good day. And again, we weren't able to capture the 200. So what matters tomorrow? That's the line. It's that purple. Today it's at $15.19. I would say that's a pretty horizontal line. I don't think that's going to change much. So this must, and I'm going to set an alert. I would like to know. Actually, let's back up and let's see if there's a better place. Right there. I think that's our line. Let me see what the bottom of U is. That's too close. All right, I'll take 1540. 1545, I'll take 1544. We'll call 1543, right in the middle. If Rivian can get over 1543, I think that's going to be an interesting point. Again, an alert is not an immediate buy notification, but let's just draw that line right there. Nope, wrong candle. Was it that candle? That candle. It was that guy right there. And it looks like that guy right there. Roughly half there. Again, these lines aren't for perfect. They're here for good enough. If we can get over that, oh, I would love to trade all the way up to there. For sure. That's a beautiful channel. That's actually a 20% channel. You're basically adding $3 right there, right? I'm also seeing red, 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 nothing, 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 green, 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 green. That could be a very fast mover and potentially take us even higher to the next couple lines up, all right? Otherwise, I wouldn't be surprised if we come down here. I think 1250 is a very realistic drop, all right? We must regain that 1550 and hopefully go from there. I think my alert was 1540. I already forgot the number, right? Again, the lines aren't here for perfect, and the alerts aren't, you know, an immediate buy, but that's what needs to happen on the technical side. Again, big $5 million news, big partnership, big future venture. Listen, for all I know, Mercedes is about to do something even cooler and no one's going to care. For all I know, Toyota is about to drop that hydrogen car and no one's going to care about EV anymore. There's so much that can happen between now and that $5 billion is invested and used and all the R&D is done and this and that. EV market isn't what it was, but if we can get over the 200 moving average, break all five and fly, all right? The other thing to just kind of note, look at this thing. It's actually gotten over but kind of struggled. Gotten over but struggled. Gotten over but struggled. This hasn't yet broken all five and flown, all right? Maybe this VW thing is the news. Look, I am looking at the entire life of the stock. This was the biggest single volume day. Before that, it was right here. So this was the biggest single volume day, and that's huge. Obviously, it's going to be, oh, it's not just yet. So we're not the biggest week, but again, we still have 2 full days of trading, right? I'm curious to see if by Friday we'll surpass that 540 million. And hey, if we break that 1550, I think it'll be easy to do it actually. So big volume day, big news. Definitely more of a loser day than a winner day though today, despite seeing this 23. Because again, don't forget that screenshot. Like I said, my screenshot had it at 17 and pushing after hours yesterday. I'm fairly confident it actually went to that 1880 line too. And a drop all the way down to 14 would be very, very bad if someone caught it up there, right? So look, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. FFIE. Okay. So I'll be real honest with you. This is not a stock I love. I kind of don't, I just don't trust this one, all right? And that said, I'm still going to do my very best to stay impartial and let the lines and the technicals say the story, right? But I think everyone has those stocks they just kind of don't trust. And, you know, sometimes that affects how trades happen, all right? Oh, man, we're pushing 50. Get out of here. That was a big thing I talked about at the beginning of the video too, and I'm going to obviously talk about now. But FFIE. So I saw the move, and I thought it was nothing more than a silly connection to RIVN. I actually see this more as a technical move. All right. So a couple things are jumping out, right? This candle right here, this is the biggest one to the left. This one closes at 29 cents. When this was able to open at 30 and obviously surpass that 100 moving average at 31, there's a big technical thing right there for sure. This stayed above the biggest candle to the left and obviously stayed above that 100 moving average. The next thing is, look, this thing basically tries to make, like I'm zooming out, sorry. It basically tries to break the 100, couldn't confirm. That's a good candle. I'm very surprised that didn't continue. And again, a big reason why I just say this is one that I don't trust much. But this thing tries to get to the 200, couldn't do it, gets back to the 100 that it just tried to break, excuse me, and actually holds it. Look, yesterday clearly was below it, but I always say you need to confirm up and you need to confirm down, and this doesn't confirm down. Instead, it, like I said, gaps up over the bigger candle to the left and goes from there, right? Makes sense that it stopped here. That's a cluster of 3 moving averages. It's hard to break 1, let alone 2 and 3, but that's a beautiful run. And hey, when you're talking pennies and you can go from a few pennies to a dime up, you're gonna see days like this, right? So what would I be looking for? Really, I would be looking for that to break. Let's even take it to 54. Oh, that's 56. Look, I think anywhere between 53 and 56 cents, pending your risk tolerance. Because look, from there, I'm basically targeting $1.60, right? So like, you know, it's not going to hurt to wait a little bit. I think maybe even like 120 might be a line in between, but yeah, going from 50, so even waiting till 60 could be a good move, right? Risk reward tolerance. And actually, is that 57? Yeah, that's actually 57, not 56. I think it's worth waiting for 57, given the beautiful green, 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 red, 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 green, green, green potential here. That's pretty much exactly where the 200 moving sitting. If we can get to that, we would also confirm that 100 bounce, right? So far so good. This is just a single candle. We need to see more. Interesting after hours. Clearly it got me a little excited, but please don't let after hours fool you. Big numbers. I see it, right? But let's see what this 57 can do. That's a really low RSI. If we can continue, and look, this thing knows how to get even higher volume than we had today, right? So if we can get that billion shares, oh man, let's even call it 900. So if we can get 900 million shares in a 7-hour day, we're looking for about 130 in the first hour, 260 in the second hour of trading. If you can get that much volume, might be hard to stop this thing. Otherwise, I imagine this comes back down to 38, 37 cents, give or take, all right? So I would recommend having your finger on the mouse here. But again, I'm a little bit jaded. I just kind of don't trust this stock. And again, I'm not telling you to trust it or not trust it either, right? I'm just giving you my slightly human opinions as I try to stay as mechanically technical and unbiased as I can, all right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Even if you disagree, hey, I appreciate you so much.